You know what's funny? Whenever I hear the subject Goku's greatest failure, it always goes into how he was with Goten. Well, first Gohan, then Goten, and as a husband with Chi Chi. But something tells me this could be a little different. Obviously, here's my thoughts when it comes to Goku as a family man. I'm not gonna front. I did, for moments, watching Dragon Ball, get frustrated with how Goku treated his family. I did. I'm not even gonna front. You know, having a kid fight one of the most dangerous people, if not the dangerous person in the universe, which was Cell. The way he always put, well, not always, the way he treated Chi Chi from time to time, all this other stuff. But then I started to think about how Goku's upbringing, who he was, and his mindset, and what he did for the universe and what it took to do it. You know, I could get mad at, oh, Goku leaves his family whenever he feels like he trains for months and this and that. But then, with how the story's written, if Goku didn't train the way he did, the universe would have been dead a long time ago. If you think about it, if he didn't train Gohan, that teenage version of Gohan, the way he did, Cell would have won, and everybody would have been gone. And so it's like I always weigh it back and forth. Like I got frustrated when you remember when Oob came in the series at the end of the Boo saga, and then he was going to train Oob, and he just left his family. And even Chi Chi was like, but if you think about it, nobody, well, outside of Vegeta, nobody really trained themselves in the way that Goku did to protect the universe. You know, Gohan was always the strongest for a minute. Well, not always was. Well, he was the strongest for a while, but then he always would slack off and then be the weakest. So, and a friend of mine and I always went back and forth on that. We would be frustrated with Goku, but at the same time be like, well, the universe, the Earth should be thankful because if he didn't do what he did, everybody would have been gone long time ago. Literally, think about it. If you really think about it, Vegeta was never strong enough, which that's how his character was written, which was kind of frustrating because I'm a Vegeta fan. Well, I take that back. Vegeta had moments where he was the strongest. He just was written to be dumb and let Cell turn to perfect form. You know what I'm saying? Vegeta would have won, and if he just handled his business with semi-perfect Cell. But that didn't happen. And, you know, when you think about Gohan, when he was fighting Boo, Gohan could have beaten Boo, but then something happened with him and with Boo and Goten. You know that's part of the story. It was always something to where Goku, for the most part, had to interfere. And if he didn't have the power to interfere, he would have lost. So it kind of goes back to, okay, Goku needed to be away and do his thing and have Gohan raise Gohan up in the way he thought. It was always a back and forth conversation with friends and I. And the funny part is sometimes it's still a conversation, but I'm less now than I was before of ripping Goku apart with how he treated his family. You know, he still loves them. At the end of the day, I believe he still loves them. I'll say this too. I think Super kind of degraded him, and what I mean by that is, remember that scene in the Goku, and this is a spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it. You remember that scene in the Goku Black Saga where Goku didn't even know what a kiss was, and Vegeta was like, "What?" Like I hated that. Right? I'm like, "Come on now, Goku knows what that is." Come on now, you telling me? I mean, I know he's about training and stuff, but let's not make him just this total dirtbag for Chi Chi. Where Vegeta and Bulma sitting there just like, are you kidding me? For Chi-Chi's been with you for so long and hasn't got one kiss from you. Like I hated that. That's why I'm just focusing for the most part on Z, because Super really makes Goku seem like, outside of the little parts like when he was with Pan and stuff like that, but Super really made Goku just so oblivious to what romance is. And I don't think he is. I don't think he's the most romantic person ever, but he knows something. He's been with Chi-Chi enough. But yeah, so overall, I believe he's a loving person. I don't think that's going to be his greatest failure. What this clip is showing, I'm interested in seeing what it's going to say. Which, by the way, please subscribe to his channel. His channel is very good. As a Dragon Ball fan, you know, this is something I love reacting to and talking about. As you see, it's been almost 5 minutes of me talking about a subject about Dragon Ball Z. I can do that. I love it. And this channel makes me want to talk about it more. It makes me see things a different way. But I don't think that's going to be Goku's greatest failure. As weird as it looks, they needed him to train. If you think about it, at the end of the day, even Vegeta needed Goku to train. There's moments where Vegeta will thank Goku, not to him personally, not to him face to face, but in his mind he'll think, "I'm glad he's here." He'll say stuff like that. So let's see what the Goku's greatest failure is. I'm interested.
Goku's greatest failure isn't failing to kill Frieza or giving Cell a Senzu Bean, it's Goten and Trunks. Goku was obsessed with the next generation handling the threats to Earth themselves. But unlike Gohan, who was literally stronger than Goku, and with his rage the only person strong enough to beat Cell, Goku admits he could have defeated Fat Buu with Super Saiyan 3, and even guidebooks repeat this. So Goku chose not to kill Buu when he could have, and just thought Goten and Trunks could handle it. Not only were they not mature enough to handle Buu, but they were too weak to, even when fused. Remember, Fat Buu beat Gotenks, and Piccolo doesn't seem more convinced by Super Saiyan Gotenks, despite thinking Super Saiyan 3 Goku could have won.
Yeah.
Goku's greatest failure
I forgot about that. Yeah. Thinking about it now, I remember there was a time when Goku left Buu, and I remember my brother and I watched it. We watched all the episodes. Shout out to my brother. We used to watch them all, and we were sitting there like, "Would you finish Buu? That's the series right there. That's the show's over. Just finish them off." And when he explained, and I remember before he explained to Piccolo why he didn't, we used to try to figure out like why didn't he do it? Like, is there something that could mess up something that could mess up if Goku defeats Buu? Like, is he not allowed to defeat an enemy? But then you remember that Goku did defeat someone, one of Babidi's minions. So Goku can defeat someone, even with the Halo. So it was always, what was the problem? And then when he told Piccolo, it was shorten my time on Earth. Okay, well, you're going to leave anyway. You might as well save the Earth. You know what I'm saying? That's a heck of a good point. I had never thought of that. Wow. Yeah, leaving it in the hands of two kids who, like he said, was not mature enough. And let's be real. When Buu beat the brakes off of Gotenks the first time, Buu could have just killed him when he was right there. I always wondered that too, and I gotta look at that episode again. How did Gotenks escape? You remember that first battle before Gotenks was Super Saiyan or anything like that, and Buu just beat the brakes off of him? How did Gotenks escape to go back up top? Let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, Boo must have just been nice and just let him escape. I gotta look at that episode again. But let me look at it one more time. That is so true.
Failing to kill Frieza or giving Cell a Senzu Bean.
Even though I will say that when Goku gave Cell the Senzu Bean, I was furious. I'm like, bro. And then when you see the outcome, it did not turn out the way Goku thought. I'm like, bro, Gohan would at least won at Cell at his weakest point. Like, don't give the enemy who's looking to destroy the universe a Senzu Bean. I understood it. I understood why Goku did it. It still was wrong and didn't make sense. And so that was one thing, considering
Goku was obsessed
what they
with
was
the
up
next
against.
Generation handling the threats to Earth themselves. But unlike Gohan, who was literally stronger than Goku, and with his rage the only person strong enough to beat Cell, Goku admits he could have defeated Fat Buu with Super Saiyan 3, and even guidebooks repeat this. So Goku chose not to kill Buu when he could have, and just thought Goten and Trunks could handle it. Not only were they not mature enough to handle Buu, but they were too weak to, even when fused. Remember, Fat Buu beat Gotenks, and Piccolo doesn't seem more convinced by Super Saiyan Gotenks, despite thinking Super Saiyan 3 Goku could have won. Goku's greatest failure...
If Gotenks did not turn Super Saiyan 3, if he didn't learn that, which, as cool as Gotenks Super Saiyan 3 was, I really believe that was plot armor. I don't see how they learned how to be... It's when you think about it, it's like these 8-year-olds, however old they were, learned Super Saiyan 3 by themselves. Goku wasn't in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber with them. Piccolo wasn't. They learned it. You saw Piccolo's reaction, which I ain't gonna front. Those episodes were hilarious, seeing how Piccolo reacted to Gotenks. But when you think about Gotenks turning Super Saiyan 3, you gotta be like, huh? Them transforming to Super Saiyan, okay, you can see that because you saw how they knew how to be Super Saiyan already. So them learning how to do it, fuse, okay. But that was one of the biggest plot armors. But still, regardless, there's a lot of plot armor in Dragon Ball. If Gotenks did not turn Super Saiyan 3, it was no chance. So I can see, let me know in the comments if you think that's Goku's greatest failure. I would say Cell is up there, but he makes a good point. Gohan was technically stronger than Goku. And as much as I hated how he put his son in that position, it's not as worse as putting it in the hands of two kids who are, one was mourning that his father died and the other one's mourning his brother died. And they don't know, they fight each other, but they don't know what battle is. Gohan's been through the ropes, unfortunately, since Raditz. But, yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. Goku had a lot of moments where he could have just finished it off, but he's always thinking about the future, which I understand. But at the same time, you got to be wise. When you see Gohan, when you see these other people, and they're not putting the time in, it would have made sense for him to entrust it to Vegeta, even though Vegeta wouldn't listen to him. But I don't know. It's just that's the better option. Or I don't know if you could train Piccolo to. Well, yeah, you could, because you see his new form now. I would have trusted to somebody who actually gives a care of looking after the Earth. But just to not fight and leave Boo alive because you want other people to save the Earth, it's not wise. There was a lot of moments where Goku wasn't wise, and that is one of them. Okay, well, I can see why that's Goku's greatest failure. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I would like to have this conversation, and this video went way longer than I wanted it to, but this is an interesting subject, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to go with. Usually when you hear Goku's greatest failure, it's about him as a family man. And that's what, in my circle, that's what is talked about the most. But now I understand why Goku, for the most part, does what he do with his family. But anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll check you later. See ya.